Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the show. You are listening to Pod Studio, your favorite place to practice English while thinking about the world around us. I'm Alex, and as always, I am joined by my good friend, Emma. How are you doing today, Emma?
Hi, Alex. I am doing great. I'm really happy to be here at Pod Studio today because we have a topic that I think everyone thinks about. It's one of those things you talk about with your friends over a cup of coffee or while you're walking in the park.
You're right. Today, we are asking a big question. Is life getting harder, or are we just more aware? In other words, is the world actually more difficult than it was for our parents, or do we just know more about the problems because of technology and the news?
This is such a useful topic for our listeners because these are the kinds of conversations you have in real life. When you meet people at a party or talk to colleagues at work, you often discuss how busy life is or how stressed people feel. Learning how to express these feelings in English is very helpful.
Exactly. So for the next while, we want you to just relax. Don't worry if you don't understand every single word immediately. Just listen to the flow of the conversation. We will explain things as we go, and we'll keep the language simple and natural. So grab a drink, get comfortable, and let's dive in. Before we start, if you want more fun English podcasts like this, hit the subscribe button right now and join our English learning family.
It really helps us grow. Let's start with the basics, Alex. When you talk to your parents or your grandparents, do they tell you that life was harder for them? My grandmother always tells me stories about how she had to walk miles to school or wash clothes by hand.
Oh, definitely. My dad always says, Alex, you have it easy. You have a machine for everything. And it's true. We have washing machines, dishwashers, and we can buy food at any time of the night. In that way, life is much more convenient. Convenient is a good word here. It means it saves us time and effort.
Right. Life is more convenient, but does that mean it's easier? I feel like even though I have a dishwasher, I am more stressed than my grandmother was. She had hard physical work, but her mind seemed more quiet. Nowadays, my mind is always on.
That is a great point. Maybe that's what we mean by being aware. We are aware of everything happening everywhere. For example, if something bad happens on the other side of the world, I know about it in 5 seconds because of my phone. My grandfather only knew what was happening in his village and maybe the local town.
I agree. The word aware basically means having knowledge of something. If you are aware of a problem, you know it exists. And today, we are aware of every single problem on the planet. It's like we carry the whole world's stress in our pockets.
That's a heavy thought. Carrying the world in your pocket? I think this is why many people feel like life is getting harder. It's a mental load. Have you heard that phrase before? A mental load is the amount of worry or thinking you have to do to manage your life.
I love that phrase, mental load. It explains why I feel tired even if I sit at a desk all day. My grandmother's load was physical. Mine is mental. I have to remember passwords, answer emails, check the news, and worry about my career. It feels like a lot of pressure.
Pressure is another big one. Pressure is the feeling that you must do something well or quickly. I feel a lot of pressure to be successful because I see everyone else's success on social media. In the past, you only compared yourself to your neighbor. Now I compare myself to people in London, New York, or Tokyo.
That is so true. We are constantly comparing. And when we compare, we often feel like we are falling behind. To fall behind means to not be as fast or as good as other people. If I see a friend buying a new house on Instagram, I think, oh no, I am falling behind. I should be doing more.
But is that reality, or is it just a feeling? I think this is where the aware part comes in. We are aware of what we don't have. In the 1980s, if you had a nice TV and a comfortable sofa, you were happy. You didn't know that someone your age was traveling the world and eating at 5-star restaurants every day.
You're right. Ignorance is bliss, as people sometimes say. That means if you don't know about something bad or stressful, you are happier. But we don't have that bliss anymore. We have information, constant information.
Do you think that makes us more empathetic, though? Empathetic is when you can understand and share the feelings of another person. Because we are more aware of other people's struggles, maybe we are becoming kinder.
That's a nice way to look at it. Yes, maybe we are more aware of social issues or the environment. My parents didn't really think about plastic in the ocean. They just lived their lives. Now I feel guilty every time I use a plastic straw. So my life feels harder because of the guilt, but it's actually better for the planet that I am aware.
So it's a trade-off. A trade-off is when you give up one thing to get another. We gave up a quiet, simple mind to have a more informed and global mind. But sometimes I wonder if the human brain is actually built to handle this much information.
I don't think it is. Think about burnout. We hear this word all the time now. Burnout is when you are so tired from stress that you just can't do anything anymore. You feel empty. Did people have burnout 50 years ago?
They probably called it something else, or maybe they were just too busy surviving to notice. If you have to farm the land to eat, you can't really say, "I'm having a burnout day, I'll stay in bed." You would go hungry. So, in a way, being able to feel stressed or burnt out is actually a sign that our basic needs are met.
That's a very interesting perspective. You're saying that because we don't have to worry about finding food or staying warm, our brains find new things to worry about?
Exactly. It's like our brains need something to do. If there are no lions trying to eat us, we worry about our boss's email or the number of likes on a photo. It's a different kind of hard. It's not a struggle for survival. It's a struggle for, I don't know, meaning?
Meaning and belonging. We want to feel like we belong or fit in, but it's hard to feel like you fit in when the world is so big. I think that's why many people feel lonely now, even though we are more connected than ever.
Connected is a funny word, isn't it? We have 500 friends on Facebook, but maybe nobody to help us move house or talk to when we are sad. So life feels harder because the human connection is thinner. It's not as strong as it used to be.
I feel that sometimes. When I'm on the bus, everyone is looking at their phones. No one talks. 30 years ago, people might have chatted about the weather or the news. Now we have the news on our screens, so we don't need to talk to the person next to us. We are aware of the news, but we are not aware of our neighbors.
That is a very deep thought, Emma. We are aware of the big world, but unaware of the small world right in front of us. I think that makes life feel colder, and when things feel cold and distant, they feel harder.
Let's talk about the cost of living, too. That's a very common phrase these days. The cost of living is the amount of money you need to pay for basic things like rent, food, and clothes. Many people say life is harder because everything is so expensive now.
Yes, I hear that every day. People say, my parents bought a house when they were 25, but I can't even afford to rent a small apartment. That is a real physical change. It's not just in our heads. Prices have gone up much faster than salaries.
So in that specific way, life actually is harder. It's more difficult to reach those milestones. A milestone is an important event in your life, like graduating, getting married, or buying a home. If those milestones feel impossible, people feel hopeless.
Hopelessness is a very dangerous feeling. But let's look at the other side. Think about medicine. If you got sick in 1920, it was much harder to stay alive. Today, we have amazing doctors in medicine. If you want to learn a new language, you don't have to go to a library and find a dusty book. You can just listen to Pod Studio.
Haha, exactly. We're making life easier for language learners right now. So in terms of opportunity, life is much better. We have the world's knowledge in our hands. I can learn how to cook a French meal, how to fix my sink, or how to speak English, all for free.
So maybe the problem isn't that life is harder. Maybe the problem is that we have too many choices. Have you heard of decision fatigue?
No, tell me more about that.
Decision fatigue is when you get tired because you have to make too many choices. In the past, you did what your parents did. If your father was a baker, you became a baker. You didn't have to find yourself or choose a career path. Today, we can be anything, and that is actually very exhausting.
I can see that. Every day I have to decide what to eat, what to wear, what to watch on Netflix, what to work on. By the end of the day, my brain is tired of choosing. It's like we have freedom overload. Too much freedom can feel like a burden.
A burden. That's a great word. A burden is something heavy that you have to carry. So freedom is a gift, but it's also a burden. We're aware of all the things we could be doing, and we feel bad that we aren't doing them all.
You know, Alex, I think we also have a higher standard for life now. A standard is a level of quality. We expect to be happy all the time. We expect to have a job we love. We expect to travel. If we aren't perfectly happy, we think something is wrong.
That's a very smart observation. Our ancestors didn't expect to be happy in the way we do. They expected to be safe and fed. Happiness was a bonus. For us, happiness is a requirement, and when we don't reach that high standard, we feel like life is hard.
So it's a matter of perspective. Perspective is the way you look at something. If I look at my life and see all the things I don't have, it looks hard. If I look at my life and see that I have clean water, a warm bed, and a phone that connects me to the world, it looks easy.
I think we should try to practice more gratitude. Gratitude is the feeling of being thankful. It's a word you see a lot in books about mental health. If we focus on being thankful, maybe the hard parts won't feel so heavy.
I agree, but it's also important to acknowledge that some things really are harder. We shouldn't tell people just be happy if they're struggling to pay rent. It's a balance. We need to be aware of the real problems, but not let the noise of the world overwhelm us.
Noise is a perfect way to describe it. There is so much information and so many opinions. Sometimes you just need to turn off the noise. Put the phone away, go for a walk, and just be aware of the trees and the air.
That sounds like a dream. I think I need to do that more often. I realize that when I'm off my phone, I don't feel like life is hard. I just feel like I'm existing. And existing is actually quite nice when you're not comparing it to everyone else's life.
Exactly. So to answer our original question, is life getting harder or are we just more aware? What do you think now?
I think it's both. Some things like money and mental stress are definitely harder, but we're also much more aware of everything, which makes the hard parts feel even bigger. We see every problem in HD.
HD, high definition. Everything is so clear and loud. I agree with you. It's a mix. We have more tools to make life easy, but those same tools make our minds very busy and sometimes very sad.
It's a complicated time to be alive, isn't it? But at least we're going through it together, and we have podcasts like Pod Studio to talk about it.
That's the spirit. Talking about it helps. When we share our thoughts, the burden feels a little lighter. It's like we're sharing the weight of the world instead of carrying it alone.
I really like that, sharing the weight. It makes me feel better already. I hope our listeners feel the same way. It's okay to feel like things are hard. You're not imagining it. But it's also okay to find joy in the small things.
Well said, Emma. I think this is a good place to start wrapping up our conversation. We've covered a lot of ground today, from dishwashers and social media to mental loads and decision fatigue.
We really have. It was a very interesting talk. I'm going to go home and try to be a bit less aware of the internet and a bit more aware of my dinner.
That's a great plan. I think I'll do the same. Maybe I'll even turn off my notifications for an hour.
Good luck with that. It's harder than it sounds.
It really is, but that's a challenge I'm willing to take.
Before we go, I just want to say how much I enjoyed this. These topics are so important for practicing English because they use real emotions and real-life situations. If you can talk about your feelings and your perspective on the world, you can talk to anyone.
Absolutely. Language is about connection. It's not just about grammar and lists of words. It's about sharing ideas, and today we shared some big ones.
We hope you enjoyed listening to us today. Remember, learning a language is a journey. Some days it feels hard and some days it feels easy. Just keep going and don't be too hard on yourself.
Exactly. You are doing a great job just by listening. Every minute you spend listening to English, your brain is getting more comfortable with the sounds and the rhythms of the language.
So thank you for joining us at Pod Studio. It was a pleasure to spend this time with you. We'll be back soon with another topic to help you practice and think.
Yes, stay tuned for our next episode. Until then, take care of yourself, try to find some bliss in your day, and keep practicing.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye. See you next time at Pod Studio.